good? This is Joseph 3 Banks, aka J3B for Run the Comics, and I have a mega haul. I had a pretty decent haul at first, which was this, a few places that I'm picking up, not on my pool, but just some things which I picked up because of some of the storylines which are coming out and some of the dope cover art that was out. Plus there was some books in the 50-cent bin that I picked up. But I also copped this at used to be my old LCS. But this, yeah. It was like, some comics were $3 for $1, some were $4 for $1. There were others that were 50% off back issues. And I think there was also a bunch of boxes in the back. And I'm gonna get to the name of the LCS. It's in, they're actually gonna be changing locations. They're in the same location, but just a little further down in the strip mall. But they had a bunch of books that were 8 books for $1. So I ended up getting like 24 of those joints. 24 books, so that was like $3 for 24 books. And I got some pretty good ones, mainly because of the art, not mainly some keys or high speculative work, but some beautiful artwork. So we're gonna get to those second. First, we're gonna help with these books. And I wanna start off with a book that my coworker of a young guy who he's working with to produce, I believe, this book in a comic form, which is, it's a comic that he came out with, but I think they're looking to do some more work with him. It's a book called The Sling, which kind of bases off of David and Goliath, that whole story. Just want to say his name just to give him a shout out on my podcast. But it's created, written by William Todd, and the art was by Vincent E. Allen. So that's The Sling, #1. And I want to get it signed by those guys if that's possible. I'm trying to get my coworker to do that for me, but just want to shout them out. First, my parents' basement in Avondale Estates. I got 2 books there. One, which is Livewire #8, really dope work by Rockford, and Kano does the interior illustration, so that's really dope. And I got this one mainly because I thought it looked familiar with the cover. And it's the same artist that does Descender Ascenter. I can't see how you pronounce his name. I'm always getting it wrong. But it's a variant. Vertigo, as you know, Vertigo is closing up shop. Gonna be absorbed into DC. But it's American Vampire #32. And it's just a beautiful cover by Win. I think it's a pronounced name, Win. But really dope. So that's American Vampire #32, and it's a variant, a 1 in 10 variant. All right, next place I hit up was Half Price Books. Keep telling y'all, Half Price Books. If you have one in your area, check them out. That's pretty dope comics. I got this because of the cover, with Rocket Raccoon and Groot. Secret Empire #0 variant, which I think comes with came with Pops, but they had that there. Really good condition. Something like a gift, especially for those who are Groot or Rocket Raccoon fans, especially things going on with Rocket Raccoon right now. Also, I've had a Adam Hughes cover for Batman 685, The Last Rites. I really would like to get the Last Rites and also the RIP arc of this run when Batman died. And it's a beautiful cover of Catwoman. And lastly, which is a blank variant, Batman Beyond #1. So I got this because, hey, get somebody to draw on this, illustrate this, be very dope. So this is really cool for Rebirth #1, and it has the regular cover on the inside. Next up was Book Nook. And if you have a Book Nook near you, Half Price Books and Book Nooks. If you're a comic collector, check those places out because you will find a lot of dope things there. First, the ones I had found in the 50-cent bin, I found a Spawn Wildcats, little combining of the companies, Image and also Marvel. So, well, not Image and Marvel, but 2 Image properties, Spawn and Wildcats. It's #2. I think I have #4, so I'm trying to get that little 4-part mini series. I found, anytime I see a PITT #1, I grab it. I think it's like my 3rd or 4th copy of that. PITT #1. Before all those character comic big face things that DC was doing for those the Year of the Villain. Hey, Image was doing it with PITT. Dope Dale Keown work. And some spruce illustrations for Tom Strong. I'm really liking Tom Strong, really into that character. After the Terrifics run, as I mentioned before, Tom Strong was brought into the Terrifics, he and his family. And this is Tom Strong in the Robots of Doom #1 out of a 6-part miniseries. Really dope. So I'm going to see if I can get that little 6-part miniseries along with the other Tom Strong, the main series that I'm trying to collect. And then of course, let's just jump into it. Everybody's getting it. Well, and I got the variant for House of X #1. This is the Huddleston cover. I could have got the original cover. I really want to get that connecting cover by Mark Brooks, but it didn't have it. But it got this. This was actually my 2nd pick if I was to find this one. So found that. That's really dope. Interesting story. I may do a video talking about the story, which there's actually some better stories online about the House of X that explained it for people who are really into X-Men. I love X-Men from old, and I really haven't caught up with the last 20 years of X-Men, so I'm kind of rusty. But it was a very, Hickman writes very interesting. He likes to explain things. So get your pens and pads out. Next, love this book, MIddlewest #8. Jorge Corona, his illustration, and Scotty Young, his writing about a father and son and just some of the tragedy about their relationship. Really awesome book. Check out MIddlewest if you haven't. I finally got this. I was only going to get the variant for this book because I liked it better than the normal or the #1 of the main cover of the book, and that's Aero #1, who came out of the Agents of A.T.S for Marvel when they had the whole event about the crazy takeover War of the Realms in Marvel. So that event, so a lot of Asian characters. So Aero, talking about it's a Chinese character, architect. Kind of reminds me of another architect I know, but didn't have wind powers, and that's my dude for the Green Lantern Corps, Stewart, right? Stewart. Yeah. Next, we have 2 of the variant Year of the Villain, the offers. First is Action Comics 113 with Lex Luthor. Really dope cover by Quietly. And I don't know who the illustrator of this is, but it is the Terrifics #18, and that's their Bizarro cover. Really dope. Then the last book I got at Book Nook, which going, like I said, for those who have been watching my videos, I've been going back and check out the Multiversity, and you'll see some more in this video, and that is, this is gonna be a big video. Like I said, it's a mega haul, Multiversity Guidebook, and this goes through all of the 52 universes, and yet it has a story that deals with these 2, and very, very interesting book, to say the least, and that's Multiversity Guidebook #1. Man, Morrison, I have a few Morrisons in this pile too. Morrison, I like his storytelling. He's a very interesting personality himself, but his storytelling is on point. All right, let's get to this big haul over here. And everything in this haul came from my previous LCS, which is still, I still consider it my LCS. I still love the place, like I said about the move. And they are, well, it used to be called, oh man, I can't forget the name. It's called Origin Story now. So Origin Story Comics, that's their name. They used to have another name, which I forgot the name of it, but that's all right. It's called Origin Story in McDonough, Georgia. Really dope. And let me just get the 2 newer kind of comics out the way. It's not really new because they've been out for a while. First book I did not have, but I'm trying to get the back issues of it if I can get those earlier issues. First is The Batman Who Laughs #4. Variant cover by Kyrie Andrews. Really dope. So I put these things. And this one, which I heard so much about, And I wanted to get issue number 1 and 2, but number 2 I think is the one which everybody's kind of grabbing. So it's, to find it in a while is very difficult, but I'm gonna try and find it. But I found number 1, and that's Spider-Man life story, number 1, the 60s. So I'm really gonna dig into this because I heard a lot of good things about this story. Spider-Man progressing age-wise or naturally through the years. So this would be a very interesting book to get into. There's some good things about it. Now, where to begin? I kind of set these up by comic companies. So I'm gonna get to the ones which just, I only found 1 book in the company. First, I don't know what this is about. I got them in it because of the cover and it looked interesting, and it's for Titan Comics. Ordinary. When you look at the book, it's just a regular dude holding a plunger and all these super characters behind him. So I don't know if it's kind of like how My Hero Academia is, how when the main character didn't have powers, well at first he didn't have powers, but and everybody else did, where they had quirks. So I don't know if this is gonna be kind of like that, if he's the Deku of Titan Comics. But this will be very interesting. Next is a book from Dark Horse. And I am kind of checking out Black Hammer, trying to get back into getting the Black Hammer, kind of fell away, trying to catch up again. And this is from the world of Black Hammer, Sherlock, Frankenstein, and the Legion of Evil, number 1. I was able to find that. That's really dope. Because I do have the encyclopedia of Black Hammer, and it does mention him, but I didn't read all the way through it about who he is and what is his deal. So I'm definitely looking forward to reading that. Next, for Stranger Comics, which I got introduced to because of their basically their Kickstarter, which started off with the Niobe, She Is Life. Well, they had another book called Erathune, and I actually saw it in here. I actually had 2 copies. I should have got both copies, but I just got 1, and that's number 1 of Erathune, number 1. Next, the man Joe Benitez for Benitez Productions. Beautiful artwork, and his Lady Mechanicka series. This is number 1 of this particular arc, which is called La Belle Dame Sans Merci, and that is the sketch variant. I found a lot of variants and a lot of incentive variants in this haul, which I found, which is really dope. So that's, you can't hardly see it, but that's a sketch variant. Next is a book by, I think it's called IT or something Theory. I had the name in hand, let me just look at it. But it's a book that came out with the help of Steve Aoki, rock star of the band. I forgot the name of the band. I'll probably put a picture about the band that he was a part of. Really dope. He came out, and it's interesting to find out of people in the music industry or other industries that are in the comics, like DMC, for Run DMC, he has his own comic. And other people who are getting comics. I have another person who is a big name A-list actor who has some comics in here. We'll get to him. But the Impact Theory, see right in the back. Impact Theory is the name of the company, the comics company. I don't know if they have anything else out besides Neon Future, but this is number 4 of Neon Future. I've been meaning to get some of the earlier ones, but because I found this now, it will propel me to get the other issues, 1 through 3, and however far they have gone. So that's number 4. This one I'm probably giving my kids, but I may keep it because it has a soft spot. When everybody was into Transformers, I was kind of one of those GoBots guys. This is from IDW, which I'm in the IDW now. So IDW, I'm in the IDW lot. It's GoBots, number 1 for IDW. So recover, the local comic shop day cover for GoBots, number 1. So that's gonna be very fun just to have. This one I got from cover alone. I don't know what this is about, but it has an old style, which actually is after a Jack Davis cover. And it is Starborn Onyx, number 1. It's a pretty interesting cover. That was really dope. So I picked it up. I'm trying to see the cover homage. Let me put the cover homage over here, possibly. And that seems very interesting. Next up is Boom Studios, which I have a lot of comments from Boom Studios. But first is their Fried Pride variant for Klaus and the Crisis in Xmasville, number 1. Black and white variant, Fried Pie variant. You know, Fried Pie is usually through Books A Million. Really dope illustration. Grant Morrison book. and it's illustrated by Dan Mora, and I think maybe a Dan Mora cover, I believe. But I've heard about the Klaus, kind of taking off for Santa Claus. So I heard about his character, but it'd be interesting to actually read something from him. And here's the big A-list actor who put out a book, and it is Samuel Jackson. Remember the comic he put out called Cold Space for Boom Studios? He had a 4-part, and I got 1, 2, and he did not have 3. I don't know if it's still there and it just got mixed up somewhere else, but he didn't have 3, but he did have 4. So I got 1, 3, 4 of Cold Space, Samuel Jackson Cold Space, and from Boom Studios, and it's really dope. I think these are variant covers, like it says cover B. But others cover B's too. No, cover A, it's just a cover B, and the first 2 were by Johnson. I think his name is Dave Johnson. And cover B, I think it's maybe Dave Johnson also, but I'm unsure, for number 4. So I'm just missing number 3, but that's pretty dope. Samuel Jackson doing a thing. I actually got a chance to meet him back in '96, '97 at a fundraiser in Orlando, Florida, Disney World with it was a Brian Gumble scholarship, which I got. So I got a chance to meet him and get his autograph. He don't know me from anybody else, but that was a dope time. Next we have Valiant, and I'm happy to get some more of these at this low price. Exo Man Award, which is number 12, and Exo Man Award number 19. Just kind of filling my Exo Man Award run, trying to catch up with that. Celebrating over 75 issues. So that's really dope, Exo Man Award. And another book which I was getting, which I kind of stopped, slowed down with Valiant, because Valiant has some really dope books. Don't sleep on Valiant comics, they have some really dope stuff. And that's Shadow Man number 7. And Shadow Man number 8. I like the 8 covers, but they had these, so I had to grab them because I didn't have 7 and 8. So that's really dope. Moving on, put these to the side over here. We now going to hit up Dynamite Comics, which they had some heat with comics, beautiful comics. The thing with Dynamite Comics, I would say, is it may have a lot of value, I don't know, but because of the art, you never go wrong. And this is the first cover I got from this particular artist, who is now one of my top 2 or 3 artists of all time, and it's Alex Ross. And when I saw this cover, this was like the second, I think it's the first or the second cover from him that I got. But this is my second book of this, and that's The Owl number 1, Dynamite Comics, Alex Ross cover. Beautiful. It's my second book of that. Well, my second number 1, The Owl. Beautiful, beautiful. Alex Ross cover. This one, like I said, now the rest of these I got for Dynamite, I got because of the cover. And I was surprised I found these incentive variants. Especially a lot of them are virgin variants, which is really dope. This one is called Robots and Princesses, I think it's like number 8. Now this is a dope cover. So I don't know nothing about this, but I'm going to probably read it, check it out. Maybe something I give to my daughter, or I may keep. This other character is known as Deja Thoris, and this is the number. Let me check real quick. I think it's a number 4 variant. Slip this up real quick. This is number 8. Actually, the Princess and Robots was number 4. This is number 8, and this is the B and C cover for Deja Thoris, number 8. That's the B. It's real dope. It's lunging into battle. And this is the C cover. Both of them retailer incentive virgin variants. Really dope. Art. Next we have Project Superpowers. They did not have, I do have a Project Superpowers book, I believe. But this, I think, is more of the recent books. First off is number 2, which I have two versions of it. One is a Philip Tan black and white version, spot color. It's Philip Tan. Project Superpowers number 2. Another Project Superpowers number 2 by the incomparable Mattina. So I have a Mattina cover. Project Superpowers number 2. Pretty dope. And then I have Project Superpowers number 3. I forgot who did this cover, but this is I see the name in the bottom, but I can't figure who the artist is. This is a dope cover. Look at that. Just getting punched down like cha. It's Project Superpowers number 3. It's all Dynamite Comics. And another Matina. Don't worry about that mark. Anytime you see this mark on any of these books, it's just the cover. It's not the actual book. Which the book is actually in great condition. That's just dope. Project Superpowers number 3. And that was Dynamite. Now we're hitting up the DC. And this is a book which I'm getting the next one. I'm collecting it slowly. But hey, they already have a TV show on is it on Netflix or Hulu? I can't remember if it's Netflix or Hulu, but it's Doom Patrol. And I have number 4 from the run that came out about a couple years ago. Not the new run that's starting now, but this is the previous run. It's number 4. Because I have 1 through 3, so I got 4. Found this. Remember all these. And I think that may have been one DC. I think it was like $3-4. There's another one, which is a run which I am collecting. I wish you would have had both of them so I can complete the run. You only had one of them. I needed 11 and 12. All they had was 12, and that's for Voodoo, number 12. Dope cover. Salman Basri is the illustrator of the covers for these. Well, and he was illustrating the cover of the later books. So, Tyler Christopher did the cover for, I think, the first 4. Next, another book which I stopped collecting, but I found it, and it's a Jim Lee cover, and it's for the Wildstorm, which they have just finished with all 24. See all the numbers at the top? They finished all 24 issues. I think I have about, I don't know if I have half of them, but this is number 10, Jim Lee cover. Pretty dope. This book I've been looking for all over. It has some creasing in here, but it's not one I was trying to resell anyway. I am planning on getting a press for t-shirt pressing, but I also will learn how to do some comic pressing. But I did find number 1, which was so hard to find, number 1 of this comic, which was a part of the New Age of Heroes for DC. And that's Damage, number 1, basically the Hulk of DC. So I found Damage number 1, but it has some creasing up in here. Bending and stuff like that. I don't think it did any color break. I think a little bit, but I'm not trying to sell it. I just really want to get number 1s of all of the new heroes of DC. I wanted to get all of the number 1s. So I did find that. Now we're going back. I have the first 3 issues of this, and I found number 4. We're going back to 1984, but this is a beautiful cover. And to see that I got this thing for, yeah, basically 30 cents is amazing. But it's a beautiful cover. Vigilante number 3, Pollard cover. Pollard was the illustrator of the beginning of the Vigilante run. Really dope. This is volume 1. And I'm definitely glad to have that. Now we get into that Multiversity, which we talked about earlier. Here is Multiversity, which is, think about universe number 16. Multiversity right here, which is called Just Adjust. And here's another of the Multiversity dealing with the cover. It mainly shows you, when it has highlights the number of the universe on the side, it's mainly dealing with the cover. So this is called Masterman, and there's another book that they have for Masterman, but has another universe. But this is universe number 10, which is dope. And the last DC book I have over here, which I saw this and I just noticed the foil and it popped out to me. But I really would like to know about this. It's called A Milestone in Comic Books. And if you know, Milestone Comics and DC Comics really trying to bring more diversity into DC line. This one called A Long Hot Summer number 1. Look at that. You have Static on there, you have Hardware. There you go. Has some other characters. I think that's Hardware, Static, and I forgot his name. The guy in the back, kind of like the Superman of Milestone in a way. So that is really dope. That nice little shine, that shimmer. Long Hot Summer number 1. So I'd really like to know what that is about. And here's some books which I actually got a chance to finish runs because of this dope sale they had at my LCS. And that's, for this one, we're going to Image now. an Image subsidiary. So Image Top Cow, Genius by Arthur Richardson, number 4, and Genius, number 5, and I have completed that run. I had 1 through 3, now I have the entire 5-issue run. Dope. And another run which I have completed by Raphael Ienco, and it's Mechanism. His digital illustrated comic. That's number 4 and number 5, and I have completed that run. I am excited. I wanted to get Symmetry, which he also does one called Symmetry, but he did not have Symmetry, just had Mechanism. That is okay. That's really dope. Next, some more of that Alex Ross goodness, and that's with Astro City, number 20. I have like 17, 18, 19, and 21, but I don't have 20, but I found 20. So that was really dope. Kurt Busiek's, which is Homage. It says Homage Comics, which Homage I think is a subsidiary, a part of Image. That's number 20. Really dope Alex Ross cover. Dope. Next, another book of a run which I've been collecting, which is actually a nice run. I need to try and find the rest of these, and that's Horizon, number 15. I think they had 19 or 20 issues in this book for their entire run. So I'm trying to get all of the issues of that because it's a really cool story on Horizon. This I got, and it's the last two. This one I got strictly for the cover. It has an old cover homage to it. The illustrator is Rivera. I don't know his first name, but it's Rivera. It's for Image Comics, but it's a number, what's it, number 4? But this cover is dope. Shirtless Bear Fighter, which I've heard about for a while. But look at that cover. That's done like a Golden Age book. Fighting pandas, and the pandas have knives. Number 4, very funny. This may be I may give this as a gift. This is just so dope. Have that torn look, you know, look at the close-up, kind of look how it's, get that clear off. That's a dope cover. Shirtless Bear Fighter, number 4, Image Comics. And the last one, which I looked up, found that this was an ultra rare comic, I guess because of probably how many they released or put out. But it is Savage Dragon, 221. Main character, Savage Dragon, on the front cover. It says a low run, which I found out about. So I just went ahead and picked it up, got it for half off. They were selling it for $2. So basically got it for $1. Really dope. And that's my mega haul for this past, I guess, 3 covers of the last 2 weeks. And I'm actually picking up my pull list on this Wednesday. And I'm not gonna do a video on that until I get some other comics that are coming in that I got from not only eBay, but also a comic shop. We're selling some variants, which I have those coming in also. Hopefully I'll get that this week or next week possibly, because it's an Immortal Hulk variant, and for number 22. So I don't think I'll get that. Hopefully I'll get it this week. We'll see. I don't know, but I'll release a video when I really get that particular those particular comments. I think it's like 4 I'm getting from there. So that, some of the comments I got from eBay, and then my pull from this Wednesday, I'll do a video later for that. But if you like this video, hit the like, share, subscribe, hit that bell if you want notifications of my upcoming vlogs, and I hope you really dug it. This is a mega haul. This is probably one of my top hauls. I've only had a few mega hauls, and this is probably one of my top 2 mega hauls. Really, some really dope comics, dope art, and I think I can really take from this is I really got a lot of these books because of the artwork, because of the artists. This is really an artist. I love the artist pool. It's not about specs, trying to get some super rare or valuable books, even though I heard this one is rare. So, but I just got that one because of that. But most of these, like I said, mega sale at Origin Story Comics in McDonough, Georgia. Check them out. But it was fun. It was very fun. So hope you dug this video, and hopefully I could do some more videos talking about different artists, different storylines, so I can really see y'all, so we can have some conversation, and I can be more of a part of this community, you know, on YouTube, and also have people which I connect with also on Instagram. Check out my Instagram, check out my Twitter, and hopefully I can do some more things to really add value to this community, which have given me lots of love, and have also given me lots of contents to digest. Probably really when I'm at work, just grinding, you can listen to some of these awesome YouTube commentators and bloggers and just people who just love comics and have more knowledge than me, because I'm just making kid stuff which I love, but I don't have that super knowledge like some of you guys do. But that's alright, because it's all for the love of comics, alright? Hope to see you next time. Run the comics, and I'm out. Grace and peace.